Hello and welcome back to another video. We'll be talking about what's new in Chapter 2, Season 7 of Fortnite. Okay, so now that we're in a battle lab, there is an interesting thing that they've added. So as you can see above us, we can see the big UFO that sort of goes above where the spire used to be in the previous season. And you can also see that some of the map locations have these flashing purple titles, which means that the aliens are currently residing there. So there are also these blue smoke areas, and this means that they're in an IO guard area. So as you can see, there's an IO guard walking through there, and they drop either a pulse rifle, sometimes ARs. Here we'll try and defeat them here now. So they've dropped a med kit and green AR. And here we have survived, and this time they dropped a pulse rifle, and let's just quickly use this med kit. And as you can see, as we use the med kit, you can see that there's a special box over there, and there are these new cars, and I'll show you a car and what they are doing. So there's this new gun, which is a pulse rifle. You could hold them, but there's a delay every time you shoot them, and they do, let's tell you how much damage they do. On 45, that's 33 damage. Now, moving over, we can see the cars, which we'll have a look at in a second, but there are all these chests, which we last seen in Chapter 2, Season 4 with the Stark Industries, and they've been reskinned to the IO guards. And here we can see they drop a pump shotgun and a small shield potion. Sometimes other drops and other chests will drop a Raycon scanner, which I'll show you a little later. We'll just take some of these potions and then show you these cars. So these cars, they look like any other car these type of cars. However, they have been reskinned, but that's not all. They sound different, and they are much faster. Their acceleration is at least. And my question is whether or not they're faster than a Whiplash. So if you stick around to the end of the video, we'll do a comparison and see which ones accelerate faster and which ones have a top speed that is faster than the other. Another reskin that we have seen is this truck. This is what a normal truck looks like. This one has been modded, this one has not, and this has also been reskinned. However, a difference here is that this one doesn't really have a speed difference. It is just a regular old truck. Something that you would definitely know if you had been following the release is the UFOs, the introduction of these amazing devices. So these devices, right, there's a seat on all of these little pads here, and also there are two things that you should know about UFOs. One, when you land them and get out of them, they'll automatically charge themselves up to back to 100% battery, and if you get into the UFO, you can see that on the side of the screen where it says ×3 UFO in the bottom left, that's how many lives the UFO has. So say that the IO guards try and hit my UFO, and then see how that 600 bar says it's currently at full percentage? It could potentially go down, but if you were to shoot it until you get below 1, it would repair itself another 2 times. After that, it would just explode and it would deal damage to you. So getting into UFO, they spin whenever you spin, and to your controls for your specific device that you're running Fortnite on are shown on the left side of the screen. You can raise them up like this, and they have 2 main features as the driver. You've got the ability to descend and pick up items, which I do not know why they didn't pick it up, but it has the ability to pick up items and the ability to drop items with the same click. It has nitro, which can be used 3 times before having to be recharged, and it has a plasma, which you can shoot and it starts to blow things up. It's quite effective on defeating structures from your enemies and things like this. It is actually quite fast, and we'll use this to get to our next location. Okay, so I've come to Bony Burrows because in this battle lab it happened to be one of the places where the aliens are spawning. And let's just turn off this waypoint. There are these flying UFOs. These are flown by AI or aliens and things like that. So if you do shoot them, they do get aggressive. However, if you have a UFO, there is a surefire way to get a UFO for, say, your squad member or things like that. If you were to descend on one of the highest UFOs, right, As you know, the pulse that you fire can only go down. So if you're above your UFO, remember, if these aliens can just not miss, hit, they're going to try and rise up and shoot you. But if you rise up with them, how are they going to be able to shoot someone that's higher than them? And so you just continuously shoot them, and they're just going to continuously fire downwards. And then you can eventually break this shield and start hitting them themselves. And then eventually the UFO will break to the point where they can't fly anymore. And we just keep on shooting at them, just shoot straight at the alien till it's just not viable to land. So they land it really quickly, they jump out, and then they're going to try and shoot you. So that's when you either defeat them, but I don't want to defeat them because my UFO is in pristine condition. And they are now shooting one of the new weapons. And I'm going to go and try and get that unit. We've just got to find it. Oh, there he is. We've got to get this new weapon. Okay, we got it. And now we're going to hop out. I'm going to show you one of the new weapons that have come from, it's called the Chimera Ray Gun. Now, in my opinion, if you have the choice, between a Chimera Ray Gun and a Railgun, I would go Railgun, sorry. It's more powerful because the Chimera Ray Gun it shoots about 9 damage constantly, but you've got to continuously aim it. Another thing to be wary of in the areas where there's an alien invasion is the prospect of being abducted, because the aliens just suddenly come at you and then just get this beam on you and then just zap you up, and they'll chuck you out of the location because in their eyes that's their property. And so not that you'll die, because when you're in one of these rays you get no fall damage when you're dropped, but it is just quite annoying when they do this. Let's give you a show of what the Chimera Ray Gun does though. So if I was to aim it at this UFO, you can see it's constantly doing that amount of damage. But, as I was saying before, I've hit it to 1 damage, and now it's just repairing itself, as it does with its battery, sort of. It just gets back the battery. Another thing you can do is, I'm trying to just get this. See how it's not that powerful? There we go. We'll just get it to blow there. And that's how you do it. However, to an enemy, it's not very good at destroying structures. I was just lucky that was partially broken. If you were to go to a structure that's not, its amount of energy runs out before you can actually break it. A new location that has been added to the Fortnite map is called Corny Complex. At first look, it just looks like a regular farm. However, there is a big turret up there, which is quite interesting, and there's a range of things. It looks like a normal area with just some crops and things like that. However, entering it looks a little different. There are IO guards, as you can see there, so be careful of those, but it is not your typical map. I don't want to interact with that IO guard, because as you can see, there's a little trapdoor that takes you down there. But there's no need to go through the trapdoor or anything like that, because there's a literal door that will take you. A new map location that they've added to the Fortnite map is a place called Corny Complex. And so this is also known as Dr. Sloan's laboratory, because underneath this turret, that doorway entrance and this farmhouse is actually Dr. Sloan's laboratory. I had to restart this battle lap, so I haven't got my weapons that I was showing before previously. However, as you can see, there are some IO guards, so we'll just take some of these out. These are quite effective in terms of getting people, and you could imagine how this would happen if this was a real person. And one more shot. There we go. And we have killed him. This is Dr. Sloan's laboratory. We're going to pick up some of the weapons, then we're going to go defeat Dr. Sloan. And then we can get Dr. Sloan's pulse rifle, which is as one of the weapons I was showing before. And it seems that quite a few of the IO guards actually downstairs. So we're just going to pick up some of this and we'll take some meds down. And then we'll go defeat Dr. Sloan, giving us Dr. Sloan's pulse rifle, an improvement of one of the weapons that I was showing before previously in one of the new map locations. So we can't exactly take the UFO down. And there we go, we've defeated Dr. Sloan and therefore all her copies are gone, and we get her legendary pulse rifle, which does about 38 damage. We also get the hand cannon, and these are all the items that we were looking at before, and things like that. This is the exit that I was showing you before, as proven by this marker. This is the moment you've all been waiting for, the Whiplash versus the IO Guard car. So, just from the first things, they've both got enough fuel to be able to reach the end of this road here, and they're both on full health. They're both at 800, which is quite interesting. First off, we're going to get into the Whiplash, see what speed it maxes out at. They're both going to be on the road, because I know that the Whiplash goes a lot faster on the road than it does the grass. And we'll just go to the end of the bridge and we'll just keep on going in a straight line. There's not going to be curves or any bends, because that does severely affect the speed and the handling of the car. So for the Whiplash first, right, ready? So for the Whiplash, we're going to see how long it takes to get to its maximum speed. I've got my timer set out here, and I'll put a timer on screen when I edit this. And so 3, 2, 1, go. And it's coming out at, and its maximum speed is set 80, and it took about 6 seconds to get to that speed at 80 kilometers per hour. Now for the IO Guard car, we'll see how fast this gets to and what the max speed was. The Whiplash seemed to get to around 80 kilometers an hour by the end of the road, and we'll see how fast the IO Guard car. So we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. We're going, and it's getting quite fast. And it's reaching 80, and it didn't reach 80 in the 6 seconds. However, I still feel as if this car is better, and here's my reasoning why. So they're quite fast individually, but let's just see how the braking works. So far as it's quite hard to brake with the handbrake, and to go backwards, it goes a little faster. However, it's quite loud and cumbersome. We've completely ignored this sign, so let's just get rid of it. There we go, much better. Now we're going to go over to the IO Guard car and see how it works and how its braking might be better, or is it just me who thinks that the IO Guard car is better? They both seem to be quite similar in terms of speeds, acceleration rates. I just can't help but feel that this is better. And I'll tell you why at the end. So, we're going to see, okay, in terms of, it's not very good with the handbrake, and it's very good with its reverse brake. Its reverse is still quite fast, as is its acceleration rate. Why do I feel as if this is a better car? Well, first of all, it's got tinted windows. As long as you don't aim outside and break these windows, you could easily hide in one of these cars until someone comes and then just break through the window. I'm not going to do it because I love this car. And then you could easily get them because it's very hard to see. And so, however, looking at the Whiplash, it does not have the tinted windows. But how fast is its reverse speed? It's very fast. I feel as if these cars are exactly the same. However, the Whiplash is a bit louder, and also it comes in these fluoro colors, whereas this comes in a nice dark color with a great IO card logo, which conceals it quite a bit from the rest of the terrain and scenery. And so that's why I prefer this car. That's my take on the IO Guard car versus the Whiplash. Thanks for watching the video. If you aren't already subscribed, please do consider subscribing. And also just a quick notice, due to Restream.io's constraints, I will no longer be streaming on YouTube. The highlights will be going on YouTube, potentially the whole video. All live streams will be conducted on my Twitch channel, which will be linked below.